Greeting, brothers and sisters. Glad to be here again on a better note today. Things are sort of picking up. So I'm very happy to say that. And I don't know if you know, but I've often talked about being able to make a Detroit trip. And I'm looking very forward to that now, being able to make a trip to Detroit. And it's my desire and prayer that we can have a venue set up the first week of July. The first week of July, and that'll be at the Coleman Young Community Center. We can get it set up first week of July, Coleman Young Community Center, and I'll let you know specifics on it. It's something that had dropped through the cracks, but I believe that we may have a plan to be able to establish this trip and make sure that it's something that we can do. So very excited as far as that's concerned. Very, very much excited. And so I'm going to be looking very much forward to that. And just going to look forward to seeing the brothers and sisters in Detroit where it all started. Because it was in Detroit where it all started, where the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad had first received the lessons and the teaching from the Most Honorable Fard Muhammad. Peace, sister. Peace. Glad to see you here today. And we were just talking about Detroit, sister, and may be able to get to Detroit now to be able to do a speaking venue. So I'm very excited about that. I've been wanting to go, and as you know, the Wali Muhammad Mosque there used to be Temple Number 1. This is where the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad heard the message from Master Fard Muhammad. And actually, it was Sister Clara, his wife, that had first gotten the message from the Most Honorable Fard Muhammad to the messenger, Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And so it's a blessing and be a real treat if we can meet there. But nonetheless, we will be meeting. We will be meeting nonetheless in Detroit the first week of July. Or rather, not July, the first week of August. Sorry. First week of August, we will be meeting there in Detroit. So we'll be there giving lectures. And I'm looking very much forward to it. And looking very much forward to seeing places I hadn't seen in some time. And not seeing these places in some time. So I'm very excited. Very excited nonetheless. And as you know, you can see I got in the shade. So I was able to get rid of that 4 o'clock shadow. I'm thankful for that. Always be able to come before you presentable and things of that nature. And I think that we have to always be that way. This is the one thing that marked the Elijah Muslim from many others. We don't wear a mustache. We don't wear a beard. Our face is clean, the way God intended for us to come before you, so you will see us clean and sterile, and we give you the truth. You're able to get it, and won't have to be distracted, because this is thing that we learned that things like that distract the people from the actual message. And you know, as well as I do now, that when we see lion beards and all this other stuff, you know, the styles or whatever, it can be a distraction. I want to make sure that when you're listening to me, that you're getting the 100% truth out, so you have an understanding. And that's the very thing that I look forward to giving you, an understanding as we talk about this knowledge, this great knowledge of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and what he was taught by Master Fard Muhammad, and the earlier intentions of what's really intended for the black man to get in the message that he had to black people. So I'm very happy. This will be a very historical event for me, myself as well, and my family, my wife, children, because if I make no mistake, that's their first trip to the church. Be their first time ever seeing Muhammad Mosque number 1, or Muhammad's Temple number 1, before it became the place it was, and before the name was changed to Wali Muhammad. So very happy about that, because if we can get out and lecture, we'll cover more ground, and we'll be able to prepare our people for this mighty storm that's coming before us. Brothers and sisters, we got a storm coming before us. We have a storm coming before us. So beware, black men. Beware, black men. Death in the present. War on our horizons. And you watch, these white people are getting ready. They're getting ready, and they're getting ready to storm the Capitol again. They're getting ready for a lot of stuff. They're getting ready. And I want you to know that when they're ready, we better be ready. We better be getting ready now. They say the great getting up morning. It's time for us to get in the great getting up morning. We better be ready. We better be prepared for what's going on. If you watch the news, you can see now that America is catching hell. They don't know what to do with Russia. They don't know what to do with China. They don't know what to do with other nations such as Iran. They're getting in, jumping in on this. And to my understanding, at this point now, brothers and sisters, China is about to take Wuhan and about to get the others, their interest in getting other places that they don't control in China. And I believe that Hong Kong will be a subject of interest too in this. So it is going to be amazing to see the turn that we're going to have in this century. It's going to be amazing. And here's the thing. The white man can't stop it. He can't stop it. I don't care what he does. How much peace he goes for, and I don't care how many deals he try to make, he can't stop this. He never saw it coming in a million years. He never saw it coming. And if the white man is in trouble, I want you to know that all of his agents, all of his coons are in trouble. If the white man is in trouble, his coons are in trouble. That's the way it goes. When the man is doing good, his coons are doing good. You see him driving the latest car, wearing the latest style, eating at the latest restaurant. Isn't that right? Because the house slave got whatever came from the master's table. The house slave got whatever came from the master's table, was his or hers. And you see now that since the economy is getting so bad, that this man don't know what to do. And because he don't know what to do, his slave, his house slave is running around like a chicken with his head cut off. You know, I'm from the country, the deep country. And we're so far, when I grew up, our house was so far back in the country and so far back behind the woods, because we owned all that land. We own it today. But it was so far back that they thought we lived in heaven. I mean, it was that far back, so far back they call it God's country. It was that far back. And I'm thankful for those, for that time. I'm happy to have grown up in that time. Very happy. I wouldn't change it for nothing in the world to have grown up in that time, in that place, in that dispensation. Because from that time, I learned the etiquette and learned the morals. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. I learned the etiquette and the morals and strong teaching. Strong teaching from that time period. And I use it very much in this time period because if we ever needed anything, We need some strong foundation, strong traditionalism, and strong conservatism, where we can teach our children these values and morals to separate them from amongst a world that has no values, no morals, to separate them from among the devils of this planet and all of the influences that are ungodly, that are happening on the earth, that are happening all around us. And you have to agree that there are troubles happening around us and that our children are in danger. They're in danger socially and physically. If they go into schools, they may not even make it out. Somebody decide to shoot the schools, they may not make it out. This is how dangerous it is. This is the danger that they're under. And I want you to know that these times aren't going to get any better until we make them better. Physically, we have to get out because God has called us as such. We have to get out and make these times better. They won't change on their own. It's just like a young baby. You have to train the child or teach. I said train. I know it's a horrible word, but when I said train, I'm saying teach. We have to teach and train them to honor, value the advice, the encouragement, and the discipline of the parent. We have to. If we don't train them from those ages, when they get out in the world, to them, they won't know the difference between a good and bad decision. They won't have any foundation or any basis to judge what is good and bad. So this is why the word tells us to train up a child in the way that they should go. What does it mean? Give them perspectives, give them more values that they'll be able to look at and judge the difference between what is good and what is bad, or what is considered good and what is considered bad. And when it says train up the child, it doesn't just stop there. It says train up the child in the way that they should go, and when they're old, they won't depart from it. That's what it says. So we got to train them up, right? From the young age, raise them up in the admonition of God and train them up in the right way. And if you train them up in the right way, when they're old, they won't depart from this teaching and training that you've shown them, that has taught them to stand in righteousness, the right way, making the right decisions, right? That's what righteousness is. Train them up in the right way and making the right decisions. So that's all it is. It's nothing complicated, brothers and sisters. It's nothing complicated. It's simply teaching them how to do right and appreciate doing right. And if you teach them how to do right and how to appreciate doing right, then you'll be able to teach and train other children how to do right and how to appreciate doing right through them. And I hope that's understandable. And then that way, each one can reach one and we can change this world. We can change it. Now, I want you to understand that it won't happen without us, because you and I are being called out by God. I want you to understand that you and I are being called out by God. And greetings, Brother Baltimore, Bike Life. We're being called out by God, and God is telling us to come out. It's God. And as I tell the sister all the time, I'm leaning and depending on God. I'm following God. I'm on God's side so God can get on our side. And we already know that God's on our side. And so, but I've got to get on God's side. And so, and the thing that I want you to know is this, brothers and sisters, is that if we don't get on God's side, if we don't get on the side of God, then we'll be on the devil's side. It's either is one or the other. One or the other. If we're not on God's side, then soon we'll get on the devil's side. One or the other. So God is encouraging us and challenging us now to prepare ourselves. How do we know that? Because he's allowing us to see everything that's going on. Everything that's going on. everything that's going on, God is allowing us to know where it is. Everything that's going on, God is allowing us, and I'm saying this anaphorically because I want you to know that he's allowing us to observe what's going on so that we will know what to do and how to respond. We are not being good Christians and being good Muslims to see what's going on with the eyes of God and be warned with the eyes of God and not defending our family, not taking care of ourselves, not defending our communities. That's not God's choice. That's not the road that God has for us. It's not the road that he has for you and I. God has shown us the evil of the white man. We have a history of the evil of the white man. And this war that's coming upon us is on the horizon. It's on the horizon. We saw what? Danger in our midst, right? Death in our presence. When we saw George Floyd killed in broad daylight in front of hundreds of people, millions by virtual TV, but hundreds of thousands of millions in America and billions around the world. And we watched it happen. Because God was trying to show us the evil of the white man. He was trying to show us. And I want you to understand this. Understand this. Israel went into battle to fight and kill people. You don't believe that? All you have to do is research the Quran and research the Bible. I call it the Gentile Bible. If you research those, the old King James Version and the New, then you'll find out that the people of God went to war against the people of Satan. You don't hear me. God has not told you and I to sit there and be killed. It's not the kind of God we worship. He wouldn't tell us to await being killed by the enemy. God will prepare us. Isn't that right? Like he prepared Israel to go into battle. When Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, he was being prepared by God prior to marching around the walls of Jericho before he even went into battle. And he didn't just march around the walls of Jericho, but he went into battle. And I want you to know that. Let's bring it home. And this was in Ethiopia. When these things happen, you're talking about northern and southern Ethiopia, close to the Red Sea. When they crossed the Red Sea and went over going into Canaan land and went over to Gibraltar. All of this was present-day Africa. They went in to fight against white invaders. Come on, somebody, talk to me. Went and fought against white invaders that came in that day. Invaders, brothers and sisters, they weren't fighting other Africans because it was a sin of the law to kill your brother. Isn't that right? Didn't it say thou shalt not kill? This was a moral law in between Africans, in between holy people. Said, look, thou shalt not kill, right? Thou shalt not kill. But if a person was to raise their hand against you, the law of an eye for an eye, right? Said that whatever they did against you, then you ought also to do it unto them. So, and Jesus came to fulfill the same law. But you listen to the white man and he tell you that Jesus was peaceful. He draw this picture of you, draw this picture of Jesus walking around with a scroll on his arm floating saying, y'all be nice to each other now. Don't y'all fight. And the white man put a picture in your mind of somebody being struck on the right cheek and them turning the left. Isn't that right? So he make Jesus of non-effect. It said that he make the word of non-effect. Right? They said that they talk of the power of God, denying the power thereof. But the only thing about it is, and I want to tell you this in case you don't know it, that you're God and I'm God. Collectively, we are the Godhead. And we belong to God and we are his handiwork. And see, if you listen to the white man, he's not going to tell you this. He'll tell you to be peaceful while his henchmen are killing you. Be peaceful. Don't fight. Even back in slavery. Even back in slavery. Brothers and sisters, it's a shame. Back in slavery, here he is hanging the slave. And he's telling at the same time, he's hanging the slave. And he's telling the slave, suffer peacefully. Be good to those who despitefully use you, right? If a person turn one cheek, turn the other. You got a white priest who beat the ancestors of that slave he was hanging into subjection, killed many of them because they wouldn't give in, they wouldn't turn over, right? They wouldn't give out. So he crucified him, hung them with a rope. That's true crucifixion. Same way they did Jesus. They hung him with a rope and then they nailed him to the cross. That's right. That's why the prophecy said that his neck wouldn't be broken. Why is that? Why is that? That his fists, his wrists wouldn't be broken. Why is that? Why is that, brothers and sisters? Because they had hung him with a rope. And then and if you look at the old King James Version, they said they were hanging from a tree. But it's very unattractive to see a messianic figure. Very unattractive to see them hang, right? A brother from a tree, because they're hanging us today, and they know it'll wake you up. So what they did was they stretched Jesus' arms out and nailed him to the cross. Isn't that right? Put him between two thieves, right? Isn't that right? When they were really standing at the gallows, Golgotha, where he was hung, was called a place of skull. Why are we going over this? Because Jesus was a black man. Why, they've been doing a black man the same way the entire time, brothers and sisters. The same way. Ain't nothing changed. That man ain't changed nothing. And you be a fool to think that he nailed him to the tree. No, he was hanging them on a tree. Didn't he hang me and you? He been hanging us, hanging our people. He haven't changed. He hasn't changed. The only reason they use a cross, because it's a symbol to get your mind off the rope. That's the only reason. And so we got trouble coming. Black man, black woman of America. We got death in our present. We've got war on the horizon. And we've got to be strong. Isn't that right? We got to be strong. Stronger than we've ever been in any period of human history. We got to be strong. And while we're organizing ourselves for war, we got to still build up black businesses. We got to still build up our black banking. We have to still encourage the people to organize them to fight. We have a lot of stuff we got to do. We got to create black grocery stores so we can successfully boycott economically the enemy stores, because when you're in a war, brothers and sisters, you can't fight a war and still be making the enemy money, because he'll get your money, and when he feel like that all is lost, then he'll trap you in that store and kill you himself. Burn you up or blow you up, or let his henchmen come in and kill you. Same way they're doing now. You got to understand that. We can't go to a successful war until we build up our own things. And God has given us the time to do this. He's given us the mind to do this. And we can set up clothing stores, shoe stores, meat stores, if you eat meat. Set up fish markets. Set up Navy bean product stores. And set up every other business that we need in our homes. We can do it in our homes. I wish you had seen old Detroit and old Arkansas, old Chicago, old Memphis. I mean, straight down the line from north to south, people were selling things out of their home. Do anybody remember the candy stores back in the day in the community? You could get a freeze cut. You could get Chico stick and all the candy, chips and all of that back in the day. All you had to do was go to Miss Molly's house. There was always a Miss Molly in the community. And all you had to do was go to Miss Molly's house and you'd be able to get what you needed to get. Anything that you wanted to get, you were able to do it. And so God is calling you and I. He's calling you and I back to that kind of wisdom. He's calling us back to that kind of intelligence. He's calling us back. That kind of God is calling us back to be ready to do for self. You can do for self today. You can do for self today. Right now, you can do for self. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait. You can do for self now. Set up those stores, whatever you want to do, whatever business, you can set it up right now today, because God has already blessed you with everything that you need in order to do it. The only thing you have to do, brothers and sisters, is step out on faith. Isn't that right? Step out on faith. I believe God, because he's told me and showed me that I'll be able to start going around speaking across the country to help organize our people into a mighty army. And he showed me also that one day I'll be able to talk on my own channel or station that I control. That I'll be able to do that. That way we won't have to be leaning on YouTube. Get a radio station attached to that. That way we won't have to be worried about YouTube, because this right here is still, even though I appreciate it from God, I appreciate God giving me the opportunity and you blessing me with the opportunity to talk before you. I do appreciate that, but I don't appreciate the white man having the power to destroy this structure whenever he wants. Proof of which, as you know, the last show, we had to stop it and start it on several occasions. Why? Because the white man was interrupting the show. We've been on this type of marathon to talk about Minister Farrakhan and talk about his the evil that he committed. And many of us that are ready now to reestablish Elijah Muhammad's temple and Elijah Muhammad's law, and to merge with Silas Muhammad, as he's still teaching the knowledge of the lost and foundation of Islam. And we believe that Detroit would be the best place to start to reestablish this. After we talk about the history of the Nation of Islam there, talk about the wisdom that was given to the messenger, and who gave it to the messenger, Master Fard Muhammad, and the expansion that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad done, and the teaching he done to our people and showed to our people, so that they would be ready to tackle the economic war, economic injustice that we were experiencing in that day. And now it's time, brothers and sisters, because the word tells us there's nothing new under the sun. And we know that the world needs to be reintroduced to Muhammad's teaching, because Farrakhan is letting all these devils, white devils. I was just talking about it today on my Facebook page. White devils. And yesterday I was talking about it too. All you got to do is go on there and see it. I mean, you got black Muslims making excuses for white devils coming inside of the Nation of Islam. And you and I both know that this is not the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Isn't that right? Isn't that right, brothers and sisters? And they'll misquote Muhammad. See, they do the same thing that Minister Farrakhan does. They'll misquote Muhammad and say something that has nothing to do with the subject at hand, because these Muslims they got today, they won't study. They won't study. There was one brother that came on here, one brother that actually told the truth concerning the supreme lesson. One brother that got on here that was strong enough, Brother Bennett, that told the truth concerning these devils coming inside of the nation. Farrakhan opened the door and letting these devils in, when he misled people in 1985, 86, saying that one day the white man will be able to come inside of the Nation of Islam, as taught by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad never taught that. He never taught that. He never taught that. He asked the question. Look, brothers and sisters, here's what he did. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad asked the question. He said, what do you call Masafard Muhammad a devil. He came in white skin, which he did not. He didn't come in white skin. His skin was other than white, first of all. However, would you call his white mother a devil? That's what he said. This is Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad asked the question. Would you call Master Farad Muhammad a devil? He came in white skin. Would you call his mother a devil? Right? Elijah Muhammad said, it's not the man's skin that makes him a devil. It's his mindset. That's true. That makes him one. But if there are a few of them with the righteous mindset, then we can't call them devil. This is true, but I want you to keep listening. As a whole, the white race are devils, but there are a decent few that are not, so we can't keep labeling them as devils. Now, he's saying it in a general context. Elijah Muhammad also said that when we blacks become devils, we are 7 times worse than the white. That's the truth. But this is in the supreme lesson, so there's a part 2 to that. And here's the reason why he said you can't let them in. Now listen to this. He said the supreme lesson, right? And this is Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He said the supreme lesson to the lost and found black man, right? Question, can the devil be saved? This is in the supreme lesson, as taught by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's why you got to watch Farrakhan. He's slick, and then he won't teach his ministers right. So they'll be quoting evil, thinking they're quoting righteousness. So the supreme lesson to the lost and found black man, right? The original nation of Islam. Question is asked, can the devil be saved? The answer is no. This is Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad answering this. The answer is no. There is no salvation for the devil. He and all of those that follow him are doomed to eternal hell fire for eternity. No devil cannot be saved. That's what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. That's all of it. That's all of it. So when they try to mislead you, you have to know the word, because the word is the light, the word is truth, right? And the truth shall make you and I free, brothers and sisters. So we got to reestablish the law of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And we have to help our brother Silas Muhammad, who is teaching the truth, who is standing the wind, rain, and storm. And we have to grow that malfaction in the north. We have some in the north. We have some in the west. We have some in the east. But we've got to regrow it. That plant has to be rewatered. And we have to put up Elijah Mosque. And we have to raise Elijah Muslim, because Farrakhan Muslims are marrying white she-devils. And some of them may be marrying white he-devils. But I know that they're marrying she-devils, calling themselves black when they are not even close to black. I put a brother's face up on my Facebook page, and he's whiter than white. All you got to do is look. And he calling himself Native American. That's what he calling himself, Native American. You can look at this white boy and know that he's white. Some say, well, he got eyes. He's just a white Mexican. He's a white Mexican. He's part of mankind. He's a kind of man, but he's not actual, because the last phase of the Native American, the Asian American, the brown American, which is the Mexican American, and the black, the last phase of them still have our prominent features. It's not until you get to mankind, because remember, brothers and sisters, you got humankind, right? You have a man, right? When you get to man, that's the last level of humanity. The last level of humanity. When you get to mankind, that's not, it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid, because that mankind is mixed with some other stuff. Now, I told you they're born with tails. If I could work this computer well enough, I'd be able to bring it up and show you them born with tails, and show you grown white people with tails. All you got to do is type it into Google, though. I thank Allah God for Google, because it doesn't hide anything. And if you pull it up, you'll see that these white people have tails. They have tails, not the black people. It's not human that have tails, not humankind that have tails. It's not man that have tails, but mankind have tails. Because it's a kind of man that, and they have bestiality. A lot of them like sleeping with animals. Brothers and sisters, this is the truth. And they had to start making shepherds get married. In certain parts of America, they wouldn't allow a shepherd to have what they call husbandry animals or farm animals, especially sheep, unless he was married. This is a fact. This is a fact. So we have to be wise. See, the white man knows how corrupt his nation is. He knows how corrupt he is. Everything the white man touches, everything that he touches, he dirties up, he kills it, and he makes it filthy. Everything that he touches. He's a beast in every sense of the word. Every sense of the word. And so while we are watching this stuff, while we're watching them do all kinds of evil, even against our children, we got to take our children out of the public school. We got to take them out. Now, there are home schools and e-schools. The sisters set up an e-school, same way they do at Muhammad University, while we're teaching our own kids. The sister has set up an e-school while we're teaching our own kids. We need to get our kids out of the public school, create our own jobs so we can be around our kids, and teach and train them how to run our businesses and give them knowledge that they need to be able to survive. We know that if we teach and train them, or teach them in Muhammad University from Elijah Muhammad, not Farrakhan, Elijah Muhammad, teach them in that university, then we know that our children will get a full education. We know it. And we can teach them in our home because we have the stuff online now. It's on the web. See, God has allowed our brothers and sisters that made the internet, that came from black folks, that made MapQuest and all of this. God has always, in bondage, allowed us to become wise enough, using his wisdom to create something that would be great for our people in bondage. So just like when we were in according to the story, we were in Egypt, which is symbolic to us coming over here in America and being in 400 years of slavery. That this is what Egypt was talking about. So when that happened to our forefathers, that was really a dispensation of what would happen to us, right? We live our lives as a story being told. Isn't that what the good book says? Isn't that what it says, brothers and sisters? Peace be unto you, Brother Truth. Peace be unto you. Welcome. And so we live our stories our life as a story being told. Well, so when we were in bondage, we were made brick without straw. Somebody talk to me. We had taught the Europeans about mortar when they didn't know anything about it. They didn't know how to make a brick without putting straw in it to keep it together, brothers and sisters. But we taught them how to make brick without using straw, and we used mortar, which was a scientific development that had been in Africa for thousands of years. And it was no miracle to us, though it was a miracle. It was an old miracle that we understood through science, but it was a miracle to the white man who don't know anything about science because he doesn't know how to respect human nature. I wish I had a witness today. Brothers and sisters, God is calling us out to expand in our knowledge and our wisdom. He's calling us out to prepare ourselves for the economic fall, right? Because America is already falling. For the economic fall, the repercussions of the economic fall that we're experiencing all around the country in America. And he wants us to be ready religiously, socially, educationally, medically, clinically, and otherwise, in every way possible, so that our people will be fine. And he's telling us now, the same way that Moses told the children of Israel, everyone that's on God's side, get up. If you're on the Lord's side, come over here with me. If you're on the Lord's side. And if you're on God's side, come over here with me. If you're on God's side, stand up for God. If you're on God's side, face the enemy. Who is the enemy? The enemy is anybody that is against God. Now, if you got the white man who's teaching the satanic law, right? Isn't that right? Because that's what he teaches. He teaches satanic law. Right now, an example of which, if a boy says that he want to be a girl, he can go in the hospital and get a sex change right now. Don't even got to ask his parent, which is teaching rebellion and teaching lasciviousness and teaching sodomy. And that's what this country teaches. So now a child can have a sex change but just by saying they feel like a girl or boy, going against their own sexual genetic makeup. You didn't do that. The enemy did it. And when the enemy did it, they passed it to you. And it was gradual. You ever notice that the enemy do things gradual? Everything the enemy does. Everything the enemy does, he does it gradual. He doesn't do it right away. He does it gradual. He'll take a little bit of the truth, sort of pinch it off. And you ain't paying attention, you say, oh, just a little bit. And before you know it, a little bit, right, these little pieces of crumb here and there begin to turn into a piece of a missing pie, right? Isn't that right? He takes so much of the truth until it begins to look like a lie. And that's what he did with salvation. That's what he's done with you and I, with the race factor that we face. He took so much of the truth that what was left was a lie. We didn't know the difference between what was left, their only plate of truth, and what the enemy had taken away and was showing us. It's the same way he did Adam and Eve in the garden. He did Adam and Eve the same way in the garden. What did he do with Adam and Eve? Well, Adam and Eve was told they could have rights to everything in the garden except that tree. So there's one tree you don't eat from. He said, because if you eat from that tree, you should surely die. That's the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And you know how when you know the truth, and your parents didn't train you up right, or you didn't train your children good, and you always have some other child come along, because you have to look at Adam and Eve as children. It's the only way that you're going to get the story. So some other child come along and say, well, I know your parents told you you'll die, but you won't surely die. Nah, you won't die right away. It may take you some time, but you still got a long life ahead of you. So you ain't got to worry about really dying. And so peer pressure, right? Because that's satanic. Peer pressure pushed Adam and Eve to take of that tree and eat of its fruit. Now, some people say it was an apple. I don't know. It could have been a plum. I like plums, brother and sisters. Those taste good too. Could have been a peach. Those are good. Could have been a pomegranate. Could have been nectarine, right? Could have been any one of those things. It could have been. But we know that when they took it, that it turned history upside down, literally. Turned history upside down. We learn less and less about the garden and learn more and more about sin. And seeing that when this is the way sin is, when we make a mistake, this is how it is. It has a trickling effect only if you don't become responsible. If you don't become responsible for it, then it has a trickling effect. If you're not responsible. But the minute that you become responsible, then you can change it. You can change it if you become responsible. If you take it upon you and say, oh, you know, I made a bad decision and I've got to do better, then you can change it. But if you don't become responsible, brothers and sisters, you'll never change it. And here's the thing. What Farrakhan is the one that has enticed us the wrong way. He's the one that has told us, well, you know, the teaching that Muhammad gave is supposed to transcend. That teaching that Muhammad gave, he said it then, but some stuff has changed now. We can't do the same thing we did in 1933 that we did in 63. We can't do what we did in 63 and 2003, and we can't do what we did in 2003 and 2023. We can't do that. So it's changing, but Muhammad is not here now. So now I've got to do the best that I can. Isn't that right? Deviating to make this make sense to us. And I don't know what Farrakhan is following, but it's not the Nation of Islam. And he's making sure that black people are not armed. Don't you know, brothers and sisters, there's something wrong with that? And any preacher that would say that. Any preacher that would say that, something wrong with him too. When a man is coming to your community shooting you down, right? We're not the aggressor. We're not the aggressor. That's what we're taught. That's what Muhammad teaches us. We're not the aggressor. But if someone come against us, then we'll meet them with the maximum penalty. The maximum penalty. Right? But we're not the aggressor. Now, when you're doing temple business, then no, you don't have a gun. You be out of your mind. We don't carry guns in the temple. We don't carry guns on the streets. We don't carry guns doing temple business. But what I do in my home is my own business. You don't hear me. You don't let the enemy come in your home and kill your family, kill your children, and you busy trying to reason with a murderer, and that's what the white man is. He's a murderer. We've seen it. He came in Breonna Taylor's house, shot her while she was sleeping in the bed. Isn't that right? And Breonna Taylor worked for them devils. Isn't that right? They came inside of the South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, in the Methodist Church, right? And they killed the pastor who was a part of the Senate in South Carolina, and killed all the missioners that was inside of that church. Isn't that right? He came inside of the Buffalo, New York, killed the people in the grocery store that hadn't did anything to him, but he killed them. The man, everywhere you turn, he's killing people. They killed Trayvon Martin. They killed Mike Brown. They were killing people. If you notice, when they started out, ever since Emmett Till, they were killing people, catching them, lynching them here, catching them, lynching them there, even out of slavery. They caught them and lynch them here, lynch them there. Black people were still told to be docile. Don't do anything. Be at peace. Love your enemies. Do good to those who despitefully use you. If a man hits you on one cheek, turn the other. Right? Isn't that right? Isn't that right? Now, you only got 4 cheeks. And the man ain't got no business hitting you below your face. So at that point, he only got 2 cheeks to hit. But even at that, why would you let somebody hit you on your face? Do you honestly believe that Jesus told him this? This is the Jesus that the white man put before you, brothers and sisters. It's a shame. I mean, it makes so much sense to me. It makes so much sense to me that here this Jesus, his God, will tell you to be docile when you got every right to blow his head off, chop his head off. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? You have every right to do it when this man is coming against you to take your life. They used to kill people in single numbers. Now they're killing them in mass shootings. Mass shootings. Why do you think this is happening, brothers and sisters? I give you one guess. One guess. Why do you think this is happening? It's happening because you're not fighting back. That's the reason it's happening. How do you think it got out of slavery? You think the man got nice enough to let you out of slavery? Brothers and sisters, you out of your mind. Your forefathers and mine, and our foremothers as well, and the children, were fighting and killing plantation owners. And this is why they had to let us go. because slaves had overran the plantation, and there was too many of us for them to fight. And we listened to them tell us, those of us that are already 4/5 and 5/5 of the planet, right? Almost 5/6 of the planet, almost 6/6 of the planet entirely. I mean, the whole world is filled with black people. The entire planet is filled with black people, and you and I listen to them tell us that we're 13%. They've been saying that we're 13% ever since we came out of slavery. Isn't that right? So it makes you think. It makes you think. So, you know, when you came out, when you were in slavery, they said that we were 3/5 of the white man. I hope you follow me. And if we 3/5 of the white man, then it'll take two of us, or rather, that's right. It would take two of us to equal one white man. And my guess is that they're keeping up with those same stats and filling you the same jive. They're giving you the same jive when it's true that a white man cannot win a guerrilla warfare. He can't do it. He can't do it. This man fight with rules. But you and I are in bondage. We are in bondage. And if the man come for us, or before the man come for us, we can finish him before the day is out. I'm just saying, this is not a threat. This is not a threat. That's right. Brother Baltimore said that's why they're nervous about 2050. That's right. Because in 2050, globally, we're supposed to be, am I right, 85 to 90% of the population? 85 to 90% of the population in 2050. So the man is lying to you. And it's only a crazy man that will listen to his enemy. Only a crazy man will listen to his enemy when the enemy is the one that's got you oppressed. Brothers and sisters, I don't understand it. But I tell you what, I'm so happy that the way is being made for us to get ready and come to Detroit. And we'll probably be at the Charles Young Center, or rather the Coleman Young Center. Probably be at the Coleman Young Center, the best of my knowledge, which is 2751 Robert Brady Drive in Detroit, Michigan. That's what we'll most likely be. And brothers and sisters, I'm talking about the first week of August. And anyone else that wants us to come to their area, please, please, please invite us there. And so that we can come there and be able to get this knowledge out. Because it's time for us to rally up. We got to rally the troops. We got to rally the troops. So we'll be in Detroit at the Coleman Young Center first week in August. And if Allah says the same. If not that week, we're going to be in there. We're definitely coming. That's a fact. And so that's in Detroit, Michigan. Right in Detroit, Michigan, we'll be there. And my desire, my prayer is that we can go to temple number 1, which belongs to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, before Wallace Wareddin Muhammad had turned it into Wali Muhammad Masjid. But we intend to be able to visit there as Elijah Muslims in the Nation of Islam. And not as a Farrakhan Muslim, but as an Elijah Muslim. Someone who's living the word of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the teaching that Master Fard Muhammad gave to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. So, brothers and sisters, we're getting ready. We're getting ready. And I just want you to know that also there's nothing for you to join the African American Defense League. The African American Defense League is all you have to do is say you're going to protect your family. You're in. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. All you got to do is protect your wife and your children. And you got to be a nut if you want to protect your wife and your children. And sisters, you got to be a nut if you don't protect your husband and your children. All you got to do is stand up and protect your family. That's all you got to do. And you should be doing that anyway. You should be doing that anyway. So for all of those that want to join the African American Defense League, Organization for Afro-American Unity, which is the same organization, all you got to do is say, hey, I'm going to protect my family. I'm going to join the Community Watch Program. I'm going to join. That's all you got to do. And just inbox me or email me, whatever it is, and say, how you doing? And I'm going to say, welcome aboard. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. So we're making this as easy as possible. We're making it as easy as possible. Brothers and sisters, we got the sister here with us now. And I'm so happy that she's able to come before us. She's been under the weather She's under the weather, battling this storm with me. Battling this storm with me. And I tell you what, she's a good sister because I can't be the easiest brother to deal with because I'm always talking about this devil, this white man. Always. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm on it. I was raised from the cradle to the grave to give him hell, and I won't fail in doing that one mission that God has given me. All praises be to Allah. And brothers and sisters, this sister's going to come before us and give us her wisdom. And I know she has some stuff for us to say because she's just been on fire all day and on video channel, different video channel, saying, giving that word of God and saying what God has given to her and just communicating with the people, communicating. And so our sister's going to come before us, brothers and sisters, and then you'll hear me back again. You'll hear my big mouth telling you how good God has been to us and why we need to be organized, why we need to rebuild back black businesses, and for us to beware, because what? We're catching death in our midst, and on the horizon is war. War is on the horizon. So brothers and sisters, if you please, I bring you our sister. And don't forget, if there's anyone that wants us to come where you are, where we can organize a lecture, please do. Please do, and we'll be on the first thing smoking on our way there. Brothers and sisters, here is Sister Joanna X.
Peace, love, and light. This is God is Not New. My husband refers to me as Joanna X, but this is God is Not New. So if you see me pop up in the chat, God is Not New, that's who I am. All right. If you want to visit my YouTube channel, which he was referring to a minute ago, you can find me on YouTube as God is Not New. Okay. And you have to excuse me. I'm a little pissed off. I'm a little upset today because somebody just took my artist page, which my music has been published to for over 10 years. And it was under the topic non-new, which is what I published my music under and my art under. And some Argentinian white lady, they just decided they're gonna turn everything under that name over to her. So I'm very pissed off because it's a copyright issue, and like the brother said, this is warfare. You understand? So like I tell y'all every time we deal with this stuff all day, every day. So this is just another thing today that, I just realized before I came in here. So I'm a little upset, rightfully so. If you don't know, yes, I published my own album independently. I produced my own album. I created my own music. I did the vocals, everything. So yeah, that was a lot of work. I did my own touring, selling my own CDs myself. You can still purchase the MP3 on my website, but I am really upset about it because on top of that, they've already taken a lot of my recording equipment and my instruments. It's pretty ridiculous. We need to get a lawyer. We need to get a lawyer on retainer. Seriously, we need to get a lawyer on retainer because they owe me some money. I want my money. That's where I'm at right now. We need to get a strong lawyer with a spine. We can find a lawyer with a spine. That would be wonderful. So keep us in your prayers. Keep us in your prayers, but you can find my music on my website, godisnotnew.com. You can watch some videos there as well as purchase the album if you want. But anyway, has me a little bit, sidetracked today. A little bit sidetracked because I'm gonna have to fight that one way or the other. I have to fight that. But definitely would love to get some more music out there for you all. Would love to do that and working on that. Also with the children, especially my daughter, Yes, she has some many gifts. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she does. Absolutely. The other day I recorded her. She raps sometimes. I guess she heard mommy rap because I do have like a little rap song that I wrote recently. So she raps now. The keyboard plays a little beat and she'll rap to it, freestyling, which is really neat to see, especially a 4-year-old. To hear a 4-year-old freestyle it is just incredible, really. But yeah, absolutely. We really have to focus on our children. I do teach them music, teach a music class as a part of our homeschool co-op. I teach a music class for that. Also teach a science class for that, and also teach, do some core learning to math, and language and speech. And recently I started a sign language class for the children, all ages. Anybody who wants to learn sign language can do so, can join the co-op. If you're willing to teach a class, you can join the co-op. If you homeschool, you can find that information on the website, thebirthguru.org. I'm going to put that in the chat as well, so you can see these websites in the chat. Okay, find them in the chat. Click on live chat. If you're watching the recording later, and you'll see the websites there, you can click on it and go there. Probably don't want to do it right now while I'm talking, because you're going to leave this video perhaps, or I don't know, it depends on how your browser is set up. It may open up a new window. But nonetheless, sisters, how y'all doing? How you doing, Donna? How you doing? I know a lot of our sisters are out here upset because of this formula shortage, and because of this ruling that was overturned, the Roe versus Wade ruling that was overturned. So you will see a video that I did. You will see me go live tomorrow talking about that, my thoughts on that. But we as a people have to understand that we are responsible for ourselves. We are responsible for ourselves. We are responsible for our actions. Okay. And all of our actions do have consequences. All right. Absolutely. Now, I want to go ahead and share with you all. I do have a prophetic word for tonight. You'll find it on my YouTube as well. But the word that I received in this time, we have to make sure that we're being fluid. We have to make sure that we're being fluid like water. Okay. So I want y'all to exercise some fluidity. Make sure that you are keeping yourself moving, keeping things moving in your life, in every area of your life. Keep focused on your goals and moving towards your goals, no matter what roadblocks or stumbling blocks or whatever may be in your way. You keep it moving, you keep it fluid. Because if you're not moving, you're not growing, you're not transforming, then you are going to start decaying. Okay. If you're not growing, you're not moving, you're not transforming, you will start decaying. Now, that's just the way life works. Okay. I'll give you an example. If you sit around in your bed, your muscles will start to decay. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. If you don't keep something swishing around in your mouth, if you don't brush your teeth, your teeth will start to decay. Okay, that's just the way of life. Same thing with your mind. If you don't keep challenging yourself mentally and growing mentally, you will start to die mentally. Okay. So we want to make sure we keep things fluid in our lives. I know there's a lot of things trying to block us and oppress us, keep you stuck in the house, keep you stuck mentally, keep you stuck financially. Keep it fluid. You understand? Keep it fluid. Don't let anything break you or keep you stuck anywhere. You're going to have to break through that. You got to break through that. Don't let anything limit you. Be like water. What happens when water hits a rock? Do y'all know what happens if there's a pile of rocks and the water hits the rocks? What happens when the water hits the rocks? You find some cracks and you go right on through them rocks. You understand? You find some holes and you leak right on through there. Even if somebody creates a dam, over time, that water is going to get through that dam, because it's going to disintegrate over time. It's going to even get through the dam. You understand? It's going to find holes. It's going to slowly but surely work on that dam to break through. because that's how powerful water is. So I want you all to exercise that, because if you don't know, we are made of water. About 87%, right, doctor?
That's correct.
About 87% water. I hope you're not eating my sandwich. About 87% water that we're made of. You're made of earth, too, fire, and air. Absolutely. And definitely black matter, right? Right? And how y'all doing today? Y'all doing all right? I see some people out there watching. How y'all doing today? Y'all doing good. All right, all right, all right. No, I don't have very much to say. That's all I have for you all. Well, you can take that, and, I said a mouthful. If you got it, you got it. I'm gonna save my opinions. I'm gonna save my opinions on these issues that are affecting Black maternal health. I'm gonna save that for tomorrow. I don't want to spoil that. I'm going to save that for tomorrow. So, you can go to my YouTube and subscribe and click the bell so you can get notifications when I go live tomorrow to talk about the issues of the formula shortage and this issue, about us being so angry about this Roe versus Wade ruling being overturned. And that abortion is going to be banned in a lot of states because we have a lot of Black women just up in arms and angry about this right now. And it's I guess it's a revolutionary act now for women to find somewhere to go and kill their babies. Now, hey, you be mad at me if you want, but I got a problem with that. And I got plenty to say about it. Okay, I got a problem with that, and I got plenty to say about it. Because I am pro-life, and I'm not anti-Christ. I'm not getting in with the antichrist crowd, the antichrist mentality, because that's what that is, you guys. That's what that is. All right. You have to decide what side of the line are you going to be on, and you got to be on that side of the line at all times. You got to hold the gate where you at and man your post wherever you at. You can't be wishy-washy. You can't be on the fence. You can't be about creation and life and nature some of the time. You got to be that way all the time, okay? Because we got a real fight in front of us. Got a real fight in front of us. Absolutely. Nah, I ain't about murdering. No, I'm about Black life matters. And if you say Black life matters, it's got to matter all the time. It's got to matter all the time. It's got to matter all the time. It's got to matter before you open your legs. Black life, it's got to matter. When I was single, I was preparing my body for children. I was preparing my finances for children so that I could work from home if I had to. I was preparing my mind for children. I was preparing my spirit for children. I knew my son way before I ever met my husband, and I already met him in the spirit. So, and I was trained that way personally to be prepared for marriage and for children and to go ahead and line myself up for the things that I want in life. You have to line yourself up with what you want in life. And if you didn't know, your reproductive organs are made to reproduce. Your reproductive organs were created for you to reproduce. So let's not misuse those things. Okay. Or, feel like it's some kind of revolutionary act for you to try to undo whatever happens or work against the natural order of what you were given those organs for. That's when you have all kind of issues. It creates mental issues as well as physical health issues for the women who do that. So, we got to decide what side of the line we're going to be on at all times, and be about Black life at all times, even when the baby's in utero. Let's be about Black life. Right. When the baby's coming out of the womb, let's be about Black life. Let that baby come out in some Black hands. are touching over. Let it be surrounded by Black kings and queens and gods. Okay, those who are in walking in their Christhood.
That's right.
Let that baby come out to that. Let that baby be taught by Black teachers and scholars.
Yes.
Okay. You say you pro-Black, it can't be, can't be when it fits for what you want, when it's convenient for you, and when it works for you. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. We as a community and as a people, even in our relationships, you have to make decisions for the whole.
That's right.
Not just for yourself. You make decisions for the whole, and that whole includes yourself. You know what I'm saying? That whole includes yourself, but you and yourself cannot trump everything and everybody else.
Right.
Okay, you got to think about the whole whenever you're making decisions and you're making moves. Okay, and especially when you're talking about you're going to stand on something, and especially if you're going to stand on something publicly. You really gotta decide what you're gonna stand for. Absolutely. So also, our women and our babies are dying in the hospitals. These people are trying to take us out. So I'm not mad about them banning abortion, because that was a ploy to take us out anyway. That was a plot against our children anyhow. So, I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about the formula shortage either. I'm not mad about that, because a lot of Black women are not encouraged to breastfeed, and a lot of them think they can't breastfeed when they can.
That's
so
right.
Now those who think they can't and are discouraged from breastfeeding and lied to by these crackers and devils, now they will be forced to learn that they can breastfeed. Okay.
Right.
Now I know some people do have issues where they can't, and there's other things you can use other than formula, or you can get some donated milk. Back in the day, they had wet nurses. Okay, those babies didn't die because they didn't have formula. Okay, so we need to just get over that. Really, that helps us. I wasn't mad about Trump being in office either, because a lot of y'all needed to wake up and see that see reality. Really, some people don't see reality until it's right there in their face, unfortunately, and happening to them. Where they absolutely can't deny it, and that's because of mental illness. That's called Stockholm syndrome. And sometimes when you have mental illness, you won't even recognize it until it's been put in front of you and made obvious to you that something is wrong here. So I'm grateful for all of those things that people are in an uproar about. I'm grateful because I understand that God is in control and things are moving in the right direction. And I do believe that the kingdom of God is coming on the earth, and I want to be a part of making sure it comes here as quickly as possible. I want to see it. And I'm going to make sure it gets here as quickly as possible, if I can. If I don't get to see it, that's all right. I'll just pass on the torch. Praise is due to Allah, inshallah. Thank you guys for your support, watching us tonight. If the sisters want to learn how to be competent in giving birth, and be able to share that information with other sisters, so that you can birth your babies competently around in safe spaces around your people, your family, those who love and care for you, and you want to know how to do that and avoid the pitfalls of the system and this demonic rulership that we're under right now, definitely go ahead and cop my book on free birth, or sign up for the class. You can do that on the website, thebirthguru.org. That's the last website I put in the chat. Just go to that website. You'll be able to find the class and the book. If you want to join the homeschool co-op, you can go to that website and enroll to join our homeschool co-op. It is free. All you have to do is teach a class. I believe we're all capable of teaching something. Okay. So I love to have you a part of what we're doing. Thank you for your support. It's a pleasure. Baltimore Black Life. Absolutely. It's a pleasure. Thank you for joining us, watching and engaging. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, hit the bell so you receive the notifications. Make sure you send Brother Minister a donation. Absolutely. Liberation Group. Right, Maurice? Brother Minister, Liberation Group?
Liberation Group.
Liberation.
The L and G is capital.
Group. All right, Liberation Group. Cash App. All right. Do that. You know, our funds go to the same place. So if you don't have a Cash App, you can go to my website and you can donate there through PayPal. There's a button there to donate. If you must use PayPal, you can go there and do that there too. All right. And I'm gonna
get the candy bar.
Oh, Brother Minister wants me to tell y'all about the the candy bars. We out here selling candy bars, y'all, for our homeschool co-op. Well, I am anyway, for our homeschool co-op. To raise money for the babies, for school homeschool supplies, as well as different programming and devices to enhance their online learning, virtual learning. And that's for all the children, not just my children, it's for all the children. All right. And I did design these candy bars myself. No, I did not make them, but I did design these to Interdependent Black Families, a virtual homeschool co-op. There's the website on there, and we are better together. All right. IBF represent. So get you one of these, even if you just get it for the paper as a souvenir. We do ask for a minimum donation of $5. Minimum donation of $5 for each candy bar. And you can see that on theberkeley.org, that website as well, where you go to enroll in the co-op. It's on that same page. If you want to join the homeschool co-op, you can also donate towards a candy bar. Also, if you do donate towards a candy bar, make sure you add an additional $6 for shipping in there. All right. So you might want to buy a couple candy bars. All right. And that's all I got. I'm going to let Brother Minister come back here and talk to y'all. Thank y'all for listening to me. It's an honor and a blessing to be here. I'm grateful for life today. And I love you guys. Black Power.
Thank you, brothers and sisters. Thank you, brothers and sisters. And so, as you know, the sister has a great word. I was able to get a sandwich down while she was busy. All praises be to Allah. And as you can see, we're doing great things. We're keeping up the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We're keeping the teachings alive of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And brothers and sisters, if all goes well, we look forward to in about maybe 5 years or less. Hopefully we can have up Muhammad Supermarket online and Muhammad Market in the community. And the first place that we want to do that is in Detroit. And so that's one dream that I've always had, that we would see Muhammad Supermarket up and again. And he had the People's Market or the People's Store that was up too. So we look forward to redo what the messenger had done and to reteach his teachings and to not deviate at all. So you see, we're getting the candy bars and all of this, and we're going to even have Muhammad's chocolate. I'm working on that now, and so we hope we'll have a big face of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad on it. I have the big face of Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad on it, and I pray that we'll be able to reestablish Temple Number 1. That has been a dream of mine for years, and that's to reestablish Muhammad's Temple Number 1, and also to continue with our building Muhammad's Temple Number 28. So which is what we're working on now. So we look forward very much to being able to do that. We have people that help us. So we got we'll have the breakfast program up and running for kids, children. And so every dollar and dime we get, we are doing the work. We're doing the work. We're not just sitting around talking. We're doing it. And anywhere you see us or you see anything posted with us, you'll see that we're actually doing the work. So you just type in my name and you'll even see the clinic and everything else. So we're doing the work. Type in Sister Joanna's name, Goddess Nanu, goddessnanu.com, or you put Goddess Nanu and you'll see things under her. Also, the Birth Guru. You'll see the Birth Guru. You'll see what she's doing in her organization as well. So we're pushing. We're doing for self. We're pushing. We're teaching it, and we believe in it, brothers and sisters. It's not just saying it. We're not just saying it. So every dime that you give us, we're proving Muhammad right. And you know that these are dollars that's going inside the community, brothers and sisters. Mr. Muhammad has done more for our communities than anyone, including Garvey, because he taught us how to do for self and taught us how to be independent. He did do that. He's done as much as E.C. Morris for the National Baptist Convention, who also raised up many businesses during his day. These men were friends. As a matter of fact, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad's father was a minister in the National Baptist Convention. And not only that, but I want you to know that Charles E. Mason was also attached to the National Baptist Convention and also the Nation of Islam. Each of them visited each other's holy day. So brothers and sisters, it don't matter where you are. We as black people, we all got to stand together. As black people, we all come from the same place. We're in the same bag. We're in the same boat. And if we're all standing up, doing the will of the master, teaching the lesson as the master taught it, brothers and sisters, our living will not be in vain. And we will see more brothers and sisters being able to do for self, to take care of self. That's what it's about. So we're pooling our dollars so that we can pool our dollars. Everything you give to us, and don't worry, because we'll support black businesses too, to do whatever it takes to keep black brothers and sisters up, because that's the teaching, that's the training, and that's the legacy that needs to be re-enhanced, that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught. So we don't have Minister Farrakhan killing the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And if you get white Muslims in the black temple, brothers and sisters, then you're killing it. You're destroying it. You're destroying our people. If you, because the message was to the black man. Is that right or wrong? He taught the message to the black man. It said message to the black man. It's not a message to the red man or message to the yellow man. It's not a message to the brown man. Message to the black man. To the black man. Now, there may have been some around. There may have been some around when the message was going out, but the message belonged to the black man. And that's important because we need to get it to us first. We've got people that need saving. Before we go out and get other people, we've got our own people. And we got so many that need saving until it just ain't no room for nobody else. Come on, somebody. Brothers and sisters, you know it. How many people out on the streets that you would like to see a real serious Muslim get their hands on and to bring them in the temple? How many serious brothers and sisters that are suffering in the streets, that are suffering in their homes, suffering on their jobs, that could use that word from Elijah? Isn't that right? Elijah Rock, shout, shout, shout. Elijah Rock coming about law. And hearing that word of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and teaching us to do for self and teaching us to have a do for self mentality and teaching us how to reach one and teach one and each one, reach one and teach one, so that we could make this community that God has given us what it is. And it have to be black folks. It's got to be black for black, Africa for the African, black for black, Pan-Africanism, black nationalism. That's what it's got to be for me and you. That's what it's got to be. And brothers and sisters, if it's not that, we're not going to make it. We're not going to make it. If we can't do for self, we have to do for self. The message is to the black man. The message is to the black man. That's the message. The message is to us. It's not to the red man, the brown man, or the yellow man. The message is to the black man. That's where it's got to be. Finally, brothers and sisters, in the last 5 minutes, I want to say this because this is important. Farrakhan, on his Day of Atonement, it's crazy because I remember when there was stars, entertainers saying, I don't want to come if everybody can't come. And before you knew it, when they marched on Washington, right? This is the second farce on Washington. When they did that farce on Washington with Farrakhan, Million Man March, you'll find out that they were inviting the white people on the next trips and all of that, inviting all of these people. They said, I don't want to go if the white man can't come. They're inviting these white people when it's the white man who's keeping us oppressed. And see, we've got to have some place that's all about us. That's what Muhammad's teaching is. It's about the black man. The white man, the brown man, the yellow man, the red man. All of them got it better than us. They went through some stuff. They went through a whole lot of stuff, but they're still better off than us. And some red men even own slaves. You don't believe that, do you? It's the truth. Whether you believe it or not, there were red men that owned slaves. So we need the help. We need the help. The message is to the black man. The black man needs help. We need help. Isn't that right, brothers and sisters? We're the ones that need the help. We need the help. So we got to help ourselves. We got to help ourselves and stop being concerned about everybody else. We'll never help them. We'll never help anyone else unless we help ourselves. And I'm not teaching racism, brothers and sisters. I'm teaching self-love. I'm teaching self-love. Racism is self-hate. When you love the white man so much till you hate yourself. You love somebody of another race. Right? That's a result of a superior race. And we have to love ourselves. We don't have time to love the white man. We don't have time to love them. We got to love ourselves. Us. We got to love us. Isn't that right, brothers and sisters? Do for self mentality. A love for self. And to produce for self. And don't forget that navy bean. We can make so much from that navy bean. We can make ice cream. We can make sherbet. Make so many things from that navy bean. Pies and cakes. Everything you name, we can make it. That's how brilliant. That's how brilliant was the knowledge that God gave to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That beautiful black man from Georgia who gave us the knowledge to tap into our God-like personality, to tap into our God-like system. And brothers and sisters, I don't know about you, but I'm so happy and I'm so encouraged anytime that we can do it. Now, there's some devils out there watching us right now and say, well, that brother's teaching racism. Here the white man and put you in chain, brought you over here, lock you up, knock you all upside your head, busting you all upside your mouth. The man had you in slavery, beating you, killing you, hanging you, dragging you, tearing you between trees. Isn't that right? And then he got his henchmen out to kill you, the Ku Klux Klan, the Aryan Nation, beat on you and everything. And here I tell you to defend yourself. Here I tell you war's on the horizon. Here I tell you to get organized so you can do better. And the man says that I'm teaching racism. And he even got coons out there that says that I'm teaching racism. Brothers and sisters, the last thing I want to tell you is this. Before I salute you and give you the words of peace. If Emmett Till's grandfather had been a man to defend him, he would be alive today. And you just chew on that. We can't depend on the police. They're the enemy. They're not going to protect us. They're going to keep killing us because they're working for the man. The only defense we're going to get, the only economic justice we're going to get, the only equality we're going to get is the one that we create ourselves. That's what we're going to get. If we create it, if we make it for ourselves, then we'll get it, brothers and sisters. And that's what God's trying to tell us. He's trying to tell us to stand fast in the liberty that you and I have been made free. Isn't that what Ephesians 1 says? Ephesians, the first chapter in the New Testament says, stand therefore in the liberty that you've been made free. We're already free now. Now it's time for us to get power. We're free because God said so. If we were on a plantation in chains, we would still be free because God said so. Isn't that right? So now we got to make a decision. Today, we got to make a decision to embrace that freedom, to embrace that justice, to embrace that equality, and embrace the teachings of God. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters.